Hello and welcome everyone to the CrossAndNod pod. Today we're kicking things off with a bang, talking about the sheer impact of a clinical striker can have on a team. Remember when Haaland went to Man City and he promised that I'm here to win the Champions League, and oh, did he deliver? That's why the conversation today is about the scarcity of top clinical strikers in today's game. It's like searching for diamonds in a vast coal mine. Where have they all gone, Gone are the days when we had ballers like Aguero, Lewandowski, Suarez, Big Benzema in Madrid running the show for their team. Anyways, we'll talk about all of that in the pod. We'll also talk about Victor Osimhen's future today as well. I'm Dave, your host for today's episode of the pod. I'm joined by OG and the returning man on strike, Elemosho. We also have a new pod debutant today. It's called Banky. Banky, what are you saying? Give the listeners an introduction of yourself. Who's your goat? Which team you support? Your coach.
What's happening now? It's your boy Banky on the pod. Huge fan of CrossAndNod. I'm a creative director, and that covers a lot of things around design and photography.
Let's go.
So my greatest of all time player, yeah, fact. My GOAT player would be Messi. Beyond doubt, like Messi has done it all. He has committed football, so let's just leave it there. My GOAT coach has to be either Guardiola or Cruyff. Guardiola because I respect how he has changed the game across multiple teams. He has replicated his success, and you can see so many clones of Guardiola like Ten Hag, De Zerbi, who tried to kind of replicate his style.
Arguably the greatest coach of all time, to be fair.
Yeah, to be honest, he has just changed the game in a very simple way, and he has taken football back to the basics in a way, and I respect that. That's not easy. Cruyff also because I like the foundation he put in place at Barcelona. My first football memory would be, I think it was a World Cup qualification match. It was Nigeria versus an African country, I can't remember. But we were watching the match, I think it was in 2001.
Madu. Now you be the real OG for this point.
And they took off the lights. Something funny happened, so they took off the lights. So my neighbor just carried his car. Like all of us, let's just go. We just ran to a bar. And before we got to the bar, Nigeria had scored. So I think we qualified for the World Cup.
Killing dreams since 01.
I say, how long have I been watching it consciously though? I think I would say 2004. I used to support Barcelona because of Ronaldinho. When I watched the 2006 World Cup and I saw Cristiano Ronaldo, and I'm like, okay, I have to support Man U. So I became a Man U fan because of Ronaldo, 2006. And I stopped supporting Barcelona. Unfortunately, Ronaldinho left as well, so...
Wait, who do you support currently? Which club do you support currently?
Still Man U, for life.
Wait, you're a Man U fan, your GOAT coach is Guardiola, your GOAT player is Messi, and the Cruyff that you mentioned is also, he has very strong Barcelona links. And I beg, if you connect the dots for me, because I'm not understanding right now. Because Man U, Ronaldo played for Man U now.
Yeah, Barcelona was my first club in 2004. I was supporting Barcelona first because of Ronaldinho.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but after I watched the World Cup and I saw Ronaldo, 2006 World Cup, Portugal, I'm like, I like this guy. This guy is the future. So I became a Man U fan instantly. And Rooney too, because there was a spat between Ronaldo and Rooney.
Yeah.
Where they had, it was like...
It was in the Euros or something.
No, World Cup.
No, it was in World Cup.
Yeah.
So because of that, I just became a Man U fan. And I've been a Man U fan since then.
Great. Nice to have you on, Banky. Remember, many are called, but few are chosen for the CrossAndNod pod. You're in a place of great privilege. Elemosho, how your side now? Man on strike.
I'm glad to be back. And this topic is the one that I'm really interested in because my club suffers from the lack of the fireman in front. So I'm ready to go into the topic and just dissect it as much as possible. So I'm glad to be here.
Yeah, very nice one. I mean, David, you're on spot with the whole Haaland thing, when he arrived at Man City, it wasn't just goals, it was a statement. And for the first time, I think even Man City fans themselves started to believe when he started to score those goals. Like, came in, brace, hat-trick, another brace. Like, they started to believe that, okay, yeah, this is our season. We can win the Champions League. And of course, he ended with a treble, you know. So that's like the impact a good number 9 can have on the overall team.
Great point, OG. What's cooking on your end, though? At your side?
Yeah, I did all right. On my own end, AFCON on my mind. For me, Nigeria is in the semi-finals, bro. And, you know, speaking of number 9, Osimhen did there, keeping the flag high. I know he hasn't scored. Everybody is saying he has not scored. But, bro, this is AFCON. You cannot score every goal. Like, Kanu didn't score for Nigeria. I keep saying this thing. Drogba never won AFCON, bro. But Osimhen is there running the channels, scary defenders, forcing them into mistakes. And, you know, we're in the semi-finals, so I'm feeling good, bro. I'm ready to chat.
Nice one. So the $1 million question, the game is evolving and, like, tactics are changing, and yet Elemosho touched on it there. Every majority of the teams in Europe right now are craving that out-and-out striker, someone who can like turn the tide of the game with a single touch. That poacher, the way Haaland used to do back, the way he currently does actually, you know, that craving, especially with Arsenal, where we create so many chances but we can't finish. However, when I look at the striker market in Europe today, I can't think of many who will raise the quality of like finishing or striking options at Arsenal. You know, where have all these clinical strikers gone? And are we witnessing an evolution, or is it just a case of like it's either the strikers adapt or they perish in football? You know, as traditional nines are becoming like more like super rare, what does the future hold? Elemosho, what within your reason?
Yeah, sure. So the thing is, like, if you look back, like at like the type of strikers we used to have back in the day, Ronaldo de Lima, Alan Shearer in the Premier League, Batistuta for Argentina. You know that the typical type of 9 has always been like the backbone of every team, right? Because everything, at the end of the day, the essence of playing a football game is to score and win the match. If you're not scoring, you know, at the end of the day, you're not going to win the match, you know. And those guys, they were like pure gold, you know, and they could just like take the match and just like, you know, when you have a striker that can just make something happen, can just turn the game on its head and just with a single strike, if it's whether it's inside the box or if it's like a strike from outside, you know. So I don't know, man. I've had, for myself, I would say like I support Arsenal, you know. And if I'm going to pick a striker that I'm going to talk about, I know there have been so many great strikers. Like I mentioned, Ronaldo de Lima. For me, bar Pele is like the greatest striker ever. And closely to him, I would say you have the kind of Thierry Henry. When Thierry Henry played for Arsenal, bro, he was the go-to man, you know.
Bro,
you just give him the ball. He's ready to make something happen. Either way, if it's a simple chance, if it's a chance where he has to like dribble through the defense. I can still remember, right now I can still remember the scenes of Carragher rolling on the floor at the Hybrids.
yeah, I remember.
Those stellar goals, scoring free kicks and all of those things. But now it's not the same. We have I don't know. I don't want to go so deep into the caliber of strikers we have now, where you have to start talking about the strikers' work rate, the strikers tracking back and all of that. But then it's fascinating to know like how the role of the strikers evolved from being like the traditional target man to more versatile roles, they say, but the essence still remains being the sharp end of the spear. You know, the one they go to most times. Now we have wingers scoring more than strikers now, and it's not. I think it's just because Ronaldo and Messi just changed the game. But then they are no wingers, they are not strikers on the level of strikers they used to be. You know, so it's just a sad thing.
Yeah, and like with Henry, I mean, you just knew, bro. The jog, the black gloves, like the long
long
sleeves,
socks.
the long socks,
Striker
those
used
white
to have-
shoes.
Striker used to have steez, bro.
They used to have
Charisma,
steez.
Serious profile.
Like,
bro, you know when
Have
when
the
you see
opponent
strikers,
shaking.
beginning of the game, you as a defender, you're terrified. Nobody's
You get, like nobody's giving that from that number 9 position right now. It's crazy.
Absolutely, man. But the game has developed today. However, like that thrill of just seeing a striker run the game. See, case in point, Henry. I have so many memories of Henry just taking the game by the scruff of the neck and making things happen for us now. But then if you look at the current scene, it's like, where have all these classic number 9s gone, you know? You've got teams playing without like a traditional striker and still banging in goals. For example, City in 2020, 2021, or was it 21, 22? I don't remember. That season where they had Foden and De Bruyne up front, they playing false 9.
Yeah.
And they still scored the most goals in the league. And obviously they won the title that year.
Yeah, I think that's the thing. Like, football has become, in a way, more dynamic. Partly thanks to Guardiola. A lot of people criticize this, but a lot of people also support it,
blame him,
depending on where you where you stand. Like for example, like Guardiola made it to a point such that if you put even the most midfielder in the striker position, as long as most of the goals are in the box, the striker will score. But even he had to change because when he got to Man City, because like defenders were already getting smarter than that. But I think like definitely like strikers recently have to do more than before, especially pressing. Like before, what concerns a striker with pressing? But now strikers have to be press. They have to press now, chase defenders, run back and forth. Like it's already separating the quality strikers from the normal one.
Yeah.
Like when you look at Haaland and City now, he just came and I mean City were scoring before Haaland, but everyone could tell that there's a difference, you know.
Yeah.
There's a new sheriff in town.
I feel you. I mean, that's where players like Osimhen come into the fore. I will always, toot Osimhen's on because it feels like a crossbreed of the old legendary strikers, but with the agility and skill set to thrive in today's game. Like, he's pressing, he's a pressing monster. And he's so good. He's an athlete. Like, I see Osimhen making some runs. I'm like, bro, how? How are you doing that? Why are you pushing the ball and getting in front of the defender?
Running.
He's a horse.
Always running, that guy. I watch compilations of him. I'm like, bro, I wouldn't mind this in my team, actually.
Bro, so like, the way he plays, maybe the number 9 isn't vanishing like that. We're just adapting and it's taking a lot of time. That's why like there's scarcity of number 9s. Or how you feel on?
At the end of the day, like Banky said earlier, they feel they do all, like they could be doing all these other things apart from scoring, but that demand for goal scoring prowess is eternal, and that's why even great Guardiola himself has gone back to the archetypical like striker. So even as football tactics shifts and the role shift, the odds for the next Osimhen or like the next Haaland it continues. OG, I know you love Osimhen, but like, please, what's your take on like the overall striking matter, like the dearth of strikers in Europe at the moment, within your reason?
Like I said, I blame Guardiola, and Barca. When they started our tiki-taka business, false 9, playing Fabregas up front, doing things like that.
That's true.
Taking it to the Spanish team, I feel like that's where the demand for strikers started to go down. And like, even in academies, they are training players to be able to play across the front line. Not like they're training, you are a 9. You're training, you should be able to play 9. You should be able to play 11. You should be able to play 7 at the same time. And like, of course, at the end of the day, that's going to dilute the pool. That's why you have players like Gabriel Jesus, coming forward to open his mouth as a striker, I can do better things than score. Like, bro, please now.
I can't agree with that, man. I don't know. It's just...
You get me, Elemosho. Like, today now, they praise strikers for contributing to the build-up play, pressing defender, dropping deep to link up play. It's almost like it's a hybrid. They are not just strikers anymore. They are training them to be a cross between midfielders, wingers, and strikers. And that's why it's not there again. That's why we're looking for pure 9s, people that want to score, people that are hungry for the goals, and we don't have them anymore. Do you get? I mean, Banky, what do you think?
You know, like all this, like this is all valid. Like even at the core, I don't like the idea of using a player in multiple positions. Like I don't know what coach made that thing popular, but I miss the times when
Your go-to,
you
your
left you left back, you left back, or you left back, you right back, you center midfielder. Maybe you can evolve a bit. Maybe there's an injury, but everybody knows your best position. So I understand what you're saying perfectly. Like this modern forward philosophy, like they're not really grooming players to fit that traditional number 9 again. That clinical striker that half chance is all you need to give him, and it will be 1-0. Like I think there are some people who excel though, like, but they just become an exception rather than the norm. But like you can see the scarcity, you know. For example, let's see someone like Haaland. Haaland was very expensive. Like Haaland is so, like, you can't have like 5-6 Haalands right now. Like it's so rare that even Man U needed a striker, and we had to buy someone like Haaland at a more expensive price, which is a striker which I personally like as well. So I see that the striking position is slowly dwindling, and you can see that in the transfer market.
Yeah, it's becoming a real problem, I believe. Like I remember in was it 2014, 2015, right? That was the season that Suarez was on fire, right? Yeah. He was the lifeblood of that team. Everything went through him. He scored the majority of the goals. Do you know what I mean? Right. Also, Aguero playing for City when they won the league in 2012 and all those things. He was the main man. And those are the days where strikers they scored the majority of goals in the team. However, these days, teams like Arsenal, you see everyone sharing the load. You see Gabriel Jesus, which is supposed to be the striker, even scoring less goals than some of the wingers. Case in point, Liverpool as well. Firmino that's supposed to be the striker. Darwin Núñez that's supposed to be the striker. They're just, they're almost like supporting acts as opposed to being the main man that someone like Salah is, right? So it's a problem where today we need to, back in the day compared to now, strikers used to be, these days to like take responsibility for this bigger share of goals in the team. But now it's more or less like a team game.
But do you think that's good for the game? Like, do you think that evolution is good for the game, the adaptivity? Because I feel like AFCON is going on right now.
Mm-hmm.
Big tournaments. No, but you can't share goals in a big tournament. World Cup is coming. You can't share goals. Everyone needs to be serious. Take their roles. I'm a central midfielder, I'm a winger, this one, that one. I need big strikers. What do you feel?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, when it comes to tournament football, dynamic is slightly different. You need people that are able to like bang, take chances as they come. However, when you're looking at it from a league perspective, over a 38-game season, it's more so like a marathon. And I think the idea is for coaches. The idea is for coaches that like, if a lot more people are able to contribute to the goal scoring burden, right, it makes more sense overall for the team. So they're not just relying on just one person. Elemosho, within your reason?
Yeah. For me, like if you look at it, right, I still talk about something, the caliber, because at the end of the day, it's not just having a striker. You can also just use the Guardiola model and just play it first now, because if you don't have, it's not having an out-and-out striker, but then at the same time, your striker has to be somebody that has like scoring at the back of your mind. Like you saying, the work rate, bro. You don't need work rate. If you needed work rate, you put you in DM, bro. So I don't know. If Gabriel was firing goals for us last season, we would have won the league. If you look at let's use the Premier League for example.
Mm-hmm.
Chelsea, right? Chelsea used to have strikers, right? Let's say, like, I can't even say strikers, but they didn't have so much.
Yeah, they had Drogba. They had Zola.
If you go back to days of Drogba, Zola, maybe Bank and all of that. But then You now go forward, you see Chelsea having strikers. Like Morata had a poor run. Batshuayi, you have. I don't want to deep it, man. Timo Werner. Now you have Nicolas Jackson scoring fluke hat-tricks and all of that. He went to the AFCON and he couldn't even like start the match and all of that. And if you just take a look at it, bro, I always say for myself, right, the way I view football, I feel like there are some key areas that if you don't have it, you're not going to win competitions. And it's the striker department is one of the most important. And I say it's 4 positions for me that if you don't have it, you're not winning competitions. You have to have a very good goalkeeper. You have to have a very good anchor, that's your DM. And you have to have a very good like creative 10. And then your strikers. Other departments, your wingers, they can be okay. Your CMs, your CMs can be okay. Your right backs and left back, they can be okay. Do you understand? And maybe your CBs, you can also be good defensively. But places where they have to be like really, really, really good at.
Yeah, the core of the team.
Do you understand? And Arsenal, like the last competition we had, we won. You know what, FA Cup merchants now, as they say. The last FA Cup that we won, it was thanks to a striker that was really good, and that was Aubameyang. And
he literally carried the team.
He carried us, bro, throughout the tournament. Man City, Liverpool, everyone that we met, even up to the Community Shield and all of that. It was the backbone. Man City never won the Champions League even with the false 9 and P. Until they had a prolific 9 like Haaland. Haaland scored 9 goals in like a tournament. I think it was under 17. That was the first time I knew about Haaland. I was like, this guy's going to be special. And that's just the way it is right now. So I think for Madrid, Madrid has always had like special 9s, and that's why I respect that club. So that's another reason why I'm looking forward to the new shiny toy, the new signing. OG, what's your boy's name?
He's not yet here now. We just keep talking about every window.
That's the thing.
Is he Hendrik?
It's not even Mbappe. I'm not talking about Mbappe.
Hendrik now. Hendrik,
Hendrik, your Brazilian star.
Yeah, Brazilian. You see those pictures? Looking like Pele. All those pictures, black and white. Serious player.
If you know ball, I'll good deal.
That guy has one.
Like every picture I see him, he talking. This now professional striker. No be easy.
Back then, if you go to the Serie, it used to be striker versus striker game.
You get,
you are not in the serious business. When Inter is bringing out Adriano, AC Milan is bringing out Inzaghi,
bro.
Juventus is bringing out Del Piero and all
Del
of that.
Piero,
it's just, I don't know, man. It's just sad that the market is like this. Right
I
now,
mean,
I'll go back to my club. Arsenal wants to sign a striker. There's no striker right now that can say confidently is going to like turn the tides for us completely. I like Osimhen, but then sometimes I'm not even completely sure. Then you have strikers like Ivan Toney saying he's going for 100 million. Bro, have you done that?
What have you done?
Exactly. I was actually going to touch on that and say like all these issues that we've highlighted. How within like just looking at the outlook over the next 5 seasons, 10 seasons, what are the possible solutions to bringing back this mode of player? You mentioned a great couple names there, Del Piero, like all those names you mentioned. Were they made or were they born? If you know what I mean, right? You also mentioned that Tony is relatively clinical. We've got Osimhen as well. Like these players, they don't, especially Osimhen, he doesn't seem to have been overcoached, right? So in today's game, looking over like next 5-10 years, how could we possibly bring back this mode of striker, this traditional 9, the classic ones that are known for this top goal scoring? OG.
Yeah, I think it starts with scouting. At the end of the day, you have to look in the places that people are not looking. Like, that's your job as a scout too. Do you get what I mean? I mean, Banky, you were telling me something about Leicester City and their title win that year and how they had a good night to back it up too. I mean, tied into the scouting thing, yeah.
It was insane, man. Because, like, you gotta, like, scouts need to look for ready-made profiles. And they need to look for them, like, they need to look for them in places where people will not expect. Like, for example, someone like Jamie Vardy, people can say his time has gone, like, or he's past his prime. But strikers typically don't lose their touch, like on average. Like you see someone like Benzema still going strong. Like someone like the way Haaland is playing, you can predict that he's gonna have a very long shelf life. So scouts need to also stop looking for that whole complete fluid winger can play as a forward, and maybe also go back to looking for traditional nines. It's even affecting Manchester United at the moment. You have Rashford who wants to score, Garnacho wants to score, Bruno Fernandes wants to score.
Yeah.
So they're not giving Højlund as many chances as they should.
That's a good point, actually. Like, when you have that's the downside of having a lot of people contributing to goal scoring. You've now got people like midfielders and wingers that are also glory hunting and are not like playing for just one person in front. Do you know what I mean? See the way Man City plays solely for Haaland. Like all the build-up is to get the ball to him so he can put it in the back of the net. You don't see that anymore.
Yeah, and the thing is at the end of the day, it's all about like flexibility too, right? Because you know they say if you're not with the trend, right, you're going to lose out. So clubs are adapting to tactics, like, and maybe the striker role is being reinvented at the end of the day. Like it's like you said earlier, even the great Guardiola that started all these false nine tactics, he had to go back to the drawing board and like sign a true marksman, because at the end of the day, bro, a 9 is a 9. There's no there's not too much to do about it. And as OG said earlier, like scouting, that's the most important thing. Because if let's give it a typical case of scouting, right? And we still have to go back to Man City. We'll talk about Man City a lot because
they are on top. They are doing it well right now.
They are doing everything right. You understand? Look at Alvarez. They bought Alvarez from what's the club?
River Plate
in
Argentina.
Yeah, I think it was barely was less than £20 million. And you can see like he's a raw striker.
Bro,
he has that knack for goals.
Guardiola is trying to convert him into something else right now.
Guardiola is trying to like change his game because that's what he does every time. He's trying to make you. He's part of the reason why people like people make cases for players like Grealish, because this is, to be honest, I criticize Grealish a lot, but this is not how Grealish used to play. Grealish used to be more fluid and
high flying.
But now his game he has to change his game because, bro, this is Man City. You're no longer at Villa. You can't be playing the way you used to play. So that's the thing. Scouting is very important, and if this striker still exists, it's just going. You're not going to scout and go and look for. You're not scouting for Eddie Nketiah or scouting for Nicolas Jackson. You need to scout for the next Haaland. Go into the trenches.
Bro, make Ateta call me. I get 3 guys for Niger right now. Top 9.
Bro, when you used to have strikers like Carlos Tevez, bro, you are going in for battle.
Bro, fighters, dogs, real dogs. You
bite somebody. Yeah,
that's the spirit. I guess it's a question we also have to throw out to the listeners as well. What do you guys think? Do you have like any solutions or ideas on how clubs can overcome this seemingly quote-unquote striker scarcity? We welcome you guys to share your thoughts with us. You know, your idea might just be the next big thing in football.
Yeah. I mean, football is ever evolving, and like today's challenge is tomorrow's opportunity. The teams that get those 9 positions filled correctly, they will thrive. They will win championships. Like, I'm sure there's always talk. Haaland wants to leave Man City and that. I know Guardiola is not letting him go anywhere. It's not possible. Because there's nobody else out there that is ready now to step into those shoes, bro.
Or anyone that is within that is affordable.
Exactly.
All right. Let's shift gears to a name that I know has been on everyone's lips, considering Nigeria is at the AFCON. Victor Osimhen. This lad has been lighting things up in Serie with Napoli. He has been showing what it means to be a clinical striker in today's game, and his goal tally over like the last year and a half speaks for itself, and his style of play is something that is the talk of Europe right now.
Yeah, talk of Europe, but Napoli isn't talking enough for me. I know I'm going off points, but they know Twitter. say congrats Osimhen on your AFCON semi-final. No tweets, no acknowledgements, nothing like
The way every other club is doing for their players.
exactly. They don't know what they have. But yeah, Osimhen like rare blend of pace, power, aerial ability, has a knack for being in the right place at the right time, work rates, ability to press high up the pitch. Like for me, he has everything. And Elemosho was saying then that he's not so convinced by Osimhen. Bro, I think he goes to a better team and he raises his level.
Yeah.
He looks like the kind of player with that personality and temperament to get to a place like, I want to raise his game to meet the demands. You know? And you were talking about his improvement areas. Do you want to spotlight that a bit?
Yeah, so the thing about Osimhen that I actually like the most is, I think it's a good level, like his mentality. You know, at the end of the day, this is what separates like good players from
the
like,
great
world class players. You know, when you always want to go for it. Osimhen, like if you use the AFCON for example, there's no minute where he's not fighting for the ball. As far as his reach, he's going for it. And while he's a formidable force like up front, refining his ball control, decision making in high pressure situations could like elevate his game further. And as you said, if he goes to a better team with a better coach, you understand, yes, he will surely improve, because I think Napoli, they did him a big disservice by letting Spalletti go. Not just letting Spalletti go, replacing Spalletti with
that guy.
I don't want to call his name. Like, bro, when I saw that replacement, I was like, do you want to regress? Because this is evidently what you're doing. And it does not help Osimhen anyway, you know. So, because at the end of the day, consistency in big matches is key for him to step up as a world-class striker, you know. Because, yes, he has the tag as he's the 8th best player in the world according to
the Ballon d'Or ranking.
And bro, it's not easy for you to be tagged the 8th best player. That's why this AFCON, I've been looking up to him too. I don't need him to score too much. I just need him to score a banger. Bro, scoring a banger is going to make everybody just forget about what he has done throughout the tournament. If he's scoring, because
in that semi-final, it's like
you get.
Yeah, I feel.
So his performances at AFCON have been great, but adding like this element to his game is going to like give him like an edge also.
Yeah, and amidst all of this, there have been rumors flying around that where is he going to end up, and he also has come out to say he has made his decision, you know, and that has made his future a hot topic. We know the firepower in the Premier League when it comes to funds. There are also some La Liga clubs in need of strikers. Where do you guys reckon that Osimhen would best fit? Banky?
I've been hearing a lot of rumors actually. So the way I look at Osimhen's game, I think an easy place that he would fit easily is the Premier League. Somewhere like Chelsea, even Manchester United. But they already have Haaland.
Yeah.
Maybe Chelsea or Arsenal. I'm also hearing some things that he's likely headed to Saudi. Even though I don't know how I feel about that yet. Yeah, I heard some rumors that after AFCON, he might sign for a Saudi team. I don't know what you guys think about that. Do you think he's at his prime, he should not make a Saudi move?
No, not now.
Yeah, so that Arsenal, like this, apart from his injury, is so perfect for us, man. He's bred like the way he himself, his hunger would actually drive that team to a different level, in my own opinion. The way he's always pushing, his influence, his demand for the ball, his demand for perfection almost all the time is something that like an Arsenal would need. Also, we've got Chelsea. Chelsea definitely need a striker. Mind you, need a striker, but I mean they don't spend 70 million on like quote unquote the future. Yeah. So
yeah, but he's too young, guys. He's 20 years old. And Haaland, like in my opinion, I feel like Haaland should be like backup. Haaland should not be starting.
Exactly, but when you spend 70 million on a player, it's hard to make the case that.
How's it going to improve? Because if it's the second striker and you bought it for over 70 million pounds, it's going to be tough for his improvement. You know. But then, quick one, right? Dave, I have a question for you. If like this one, because on this pod now, you know, there's a domination. There's 2 Arsenal guys. There's one Real Madrid guy, and there's one Manchester. So we have the numbers. So I have to ask this question: if there's a striker that you think Arsenal could sign right now, that is it's not going to guarantee us winning the Premier League or the Champions League, but it's going to give us a good chance to be there. Who do you think it's going to be?
If you had asked me this question like 2 weeks ago, there were rumors that Benzema was on the market. So I was already dreaming that Benzema, the gunman in the Champions League. And moreover, he has killed a lot of Premier League teams in the past. Liverpool, Man City, Chelsea. So in our run into the Premier League this season, probably Benzema could have been an answer. And he's also quite clinical. And he's also a footballer, the way Arteta wants his strikers to play. Like, he's a proper baller as well. He can link up and do all of that good stuff. But now that the transfer window is closed and we're looking to the summer, there are only like 2 players that stand out to me. Osimhen and this guy at Inter, Lautaro Martinez. I think they are the ones that they have that good blend of hunger and clinicality as strikers that I would want at Arsenal. What about you? I would say maybe Mbappe, but like Mbappe is definitely out of reach.
Calm down.
But
you know, like it's written in the stars for him already. Winger turned striker. Like, just follow that Henry like story. Just be the one that comes to be an Arsenal legend. Like, it's written there. It's perfectly. The script couldn't have been lined up better. But
See this dreamer.
stuff of dreams.
Bro,
Wake up.
right now, it's not like the market is not giving me like so much to think about, right? There's not so much to think about in the market, because if you say we're trying to look for a player, a striker that can play football, maybe from like passes, dribble, we already have that kind of striker. We need a gunman, like, bro, your business is to score. You can drop passes and all, you can link up your business. Put that boy in the net. There are few strikers in the market right now. And as you mentioned, Osimhen, obviously, Lautaro Martinez is on fire. Another striker I'll add to the name, to the list is Vlahovic. Because I know for a good level, I think Vlahovic has always been on Arteta's radar. He has always wanted to sign him and all of that. And he's a left-footed striker. I have a thing for left-footed strikers. It's not just left-footed players sometimes. I feel like they have like some abilities that can just be special. It's just that you have to just properly groom them. So those 3 guys. Myself, I'm not totally convinced about Ivan Toney. Not for his footballing abilities totally, but then, you know, for some reasons, when you're signing a player to your club, there are some things you have to consider. There are so many negative vibes about the player. At the end of the day, it's going to affect your dressing room and some other stuff. So Ivan Toney is not somebody I'll look at, to be honest. But then just bring me Osimhen. Let's ride it. Let's do something great.
Speaking of Osimhen,
Yeah, in La Liga too, Osimhen has a chance. You know, if he comes to a club like, I mean, we're all about Mbappe right now, and we signed Hendrick for the future. But if we had a player like Osimhen too, it would improve Real Madrid. Because right now, most of the games, we started with 2 wingers up front, Rodrigo and Vini. And when we play against the physical teams, Girona them, Getafe them, these guys are getting bullied. They cannot win aerial balls. There's no space to play that beautiful football they can play. It's why I'm not so confident about chances of winning the Champions League this season. Because I feel like if we face a team like City that has 4 giants at the back, Guardiola, Diaz, Stones, Ake, bro, they will bully Vini and Rodrigo. I just don't see a situation where we can win. But if we had like a proper night, imagine we had Osimhen running the channels, doing all the work, distracting those defenders, giving Vini and Rodrigo space to do their thing.
Osimhen is definitely a player that.
Rodrigo has done it to Man City before now, so why you
He did it with Benzema there. Like there was someone, it's a different thing when it's two of them that are up front.
Yeah.
They focus on them solely, and those boys they never bulk enough to be able to that physical battle, even that mental edge. Vinny go start the fight now. After 2 tackles, like please now.
Well, at the end of the day, it's players like Osimhen that give us hope that even though the striking position is evolving, that clinical edge is still there. The heart of the clinical striker is still very much alive, adapting, evolving, but always scoring, To our listeners, what are your thoughts on Osimhen's future? Where do you guys think he will land? Let us know your take and where you'd love to see him play next. Just to as a wrap up, I just want everyone to drop their favorite underrated striker right now. OG.
Yeah, I know. It's like Africa we're enjoying right now because we have Osimhen, and my favorite underrated striker is another Nigerian, Victor Osimhen.s. He's playing good football.
Okay.
He's tall, he's big, and he's skillful. He's technical enough to grow, to become better. I know there's Bundesliga attacks and all that, but what me I've seen of him, I never watched full 90 minutes, but the highlights I've seen, the comps I've seen.
Yeah, there's something absolutely magical goals as well.
Yeah, there's something. And then this Guinea striker, Guirassy, scored 70 goals so far in the Bundesliga too. He's another person that I feel can be a good nine for the future. So, Arsenal, come to Africa. Chelsea, come to Africa.
Bro.
We've got some people.
Nigeria, we have the best pool of strikers right now.
Bro.
Facts, we the odds.
So even for low level teams, if you need strikers, there's Awuni, there's Victor Osimhen, there's Sadiq Kumar. We still have like so many guys.
Who is that tall guy that we have? Who's that tall guy?
Onuachu.
Yeah, that guy is so tall.
And Terry Murphy, bro, I don't know why Terry Murphy has not had a chance in this. But I don't know, Sha, but so far so good for real. But he's a striker I really like, to be honest, because his game is also well refined. But Nigeria, really ought to. I know yet.
For me, a striker I really rate right now is Benjamin Sesko. The guy from Leipzig, even though he's in Bundesliga, I feel like that guy has a very high ceiling, and he keeps cooking. Another guy I also like is in Bayern Munich. His name is Martin Stahl. I did Tell rather. Martin Stahl. That guy is so good. I like that he can dribble. Like, he's a striker that can actually take defenders on and get them out of the way. I respect that thing so much. And he's young as well, and he still has a very interesting career ahead of him. So I think those two guys are my name.
Those are good shouts, and actually like left fielders. I didn't remember Sesko is quite good.
The new boy at Baka, Victor Rook.
Oh, red card. Let's see disciplinary
Tiger.
Anyway, the conversation has been really cool today. That's all for today's segment of the CrossAndNod pod. Thank you for rocking with us. Don't forget to hit us up on X at CrossAndNodFT and Instagram at CrossAndNod. You can also find us wherever you get your podcast, Apple, Spotify, Google, the works. Want to hear your thoughts on Osimhen and the striker dilemma in modern football? Let's hear what you have to say. That's it from the team today. Until next time, keep nodding those crosses into the net. Also, don't forget to subscribe.